Kitakubu.
What's up everyone, KitaSean here. So a couple days ago I made a video talking about the top 10 most wanted servants by fans according to Famitsu magazine. In this video I'll be making my own top 10 most wanted playable servants that exist in the Type Moon universe. I'll be honest with you guys, you're gonna see a lot of characters from a specific Type Moon series, but it just tells you how much I like that series. So without any further ado, let's start the top 10. So at number 10, we have Mizuka Satsuki. Many Tsukihime and Melty Blood fans know who Satsuki is, but we also know that she doesn't really stand out as much as the other Tsukihime characters. To those who don't know who she is, you probably know her for her more comedic roles in a lot of Type Moon spin-offs like Carnival Phantasm. She was originally supposed to have her own route in the original novel for Tsukihime, but she didn't. Most likely the reason why she doesn't get a lot of recognition, but it has been confirmed that she will have her own route in the Tsukihime remake whenever that comes out. Very excited about it, but I'm the type of person who likes a lot of these side characters that don't get a lot of love, so it makes me really happy that Satsuki is finally getting a bigger role in this upcoming remake. She's a vampire, or in Type Moon words, a dead apostle, so she can definitely fit in the story of FGO in some way. Plus, I mean, Shion is in, the story as well, and they talk a lot about vampires and stuff like that, but I don't think she will come into FGO anytime soon due to her lack of existence. At number 9, we have Dark Sakura. I don't think a lot of people know this, but out of the 3 routes from the original Fate Stay Night visual novel game, my favorite route is Heaven's Feel. And the reason because I'm an OG Sakura fan. I didn't have any feelings for Saber, and honestly I still don't. Rin to me was a bit annoying, still is annoying, but the Unlimited Blade Works route was definitely an amazing route. Design and personality wise, Sakura was, just the one for me. So Sakura's popularity shot up significantly ever since the release of the first Heaven's Feel film, which I'm happy, but us fans who played the original game and were big Fate nerds before FGO and Fate Zero know that Sakura was one of the most hated characters in Fate Stay Night. So there were a lot of reasons why she got so much hate, and I think one of them was because of her character being abused and everything, and she had a bunch of penis monsters inside her, so a lot of fans found that, very gross. But I think the real reason for all the Sakura hate is because of a lot of people just misunderstanding the character and the route itself. Yeah, I understand that there are a bunch of Sakura faces in the game right now, but Dark Sakura is my favorite Sakura, and I would love to see her as a servant, and probably she can be an Avenger, which would be really interesting. My number 8 pick is actually a special pick because it's not really a specific character, but I want this Type Moon series to be more known to the fans that don't know anything about this. So the number 8 slot is any character from DDD, also known as Decoration Disorder Disconnection, a mystery novel written by Nasukinoko himself. According to Nasu, DDD is not in the Nasuverse, but the name Kamekura Mitsuru does get a name drop, and he's a character from the Tsukihime movie series or novel series, and he does have a CE in FGO, which is probably on your screen right now. So we're not 100% sure if this is connected to the Nasuverse in any way, but Nasu said himself that this was a double take for the readers. So I won't talk too much about the novel, but maybe give a more detailed explanation in another video. So if you guys want me to talk more DDD, just comment down below and tell me. But I think it's possible to make some kind of connection with the agonist disorder in FGO. And this disorder is basically a mental illness from the setting of DDD, which gives the patient supernatural powers. And obviously, there's a lot of supernatural things going on in the Fate universe, so I think it definitely could fit in some way. To be honest, my memory is a bit foggy on the story of DDD because it's been years since I read it. I think it was released in 2006-07, and these novels are really hard to find nowadays. So if I get all my information, it's going to be from the Type Moon fandom page. But again, if you guys want me to talk about DDD, I will do it. Just comment down below and tell me. If I were to pick one character from DDD, maybe Ishizu Kanata, because she looks beautiful and she is said to be the strongest character in the novel. I mean, if she does come in, you have to throw in her brother Akira, who is the main protagonist of the novel. At number 7, we have Reiro Kamisaya. A lot of you guys probably don't know her, but she's actually the master of Lancer Prototype in Fate Prototype and the original Tosaka Ring. She is known to be very sadistic, and at first when I watched the Fate Prototype short anime and when FGO got announced to become a mobile game, I thought maybe she can be a pseudo-servant for Tsukasa because Proto Lancer said she reminded him of Tsukasa due to their personality in the material book. Obviously, that didn't happen, so I think if she ever does come into FGO, she will probably be a host of a female servant who strongly wants to punish men because she summoned Lancer because she wanted a servant that would be scared of, women, and she wanted to show how scary women could be. So I think maybe we can see something like that, if anything. At number 6, we have Charlemagne. I always thought his design and character in Fate XL Link was really cool. There are so many servants that have a connection with him in FGO already, so it would be no surprise if he came into FGO. I said this in the last video that it would be cool to see the Paladins of Charlemagne get their own story chapter because there's just so much lore. Number 5, it's going to be Kohaku and Hisui. Many know these two because of their more comedic personalities in Carnival Phantasm and the Koha Ace manga, but they actually have a really dark past in Tsukihime. And like many, I would love to see them take on their comedic role in FGO instead. The reason why I'm talking about these two together and put them at number 5 together is because I can also see FGO putting them together as a servant like Ambani and Mary Reed. At number 4, we have Rize Baifei. Rize Baifei was the character I always picked in Melty Blood because of her unique weapon and her fighting style, plus her design was a huge plus. Her relationship with Shion and Melty Blood gives her a pretty big chance to come into FGO, so I'm crossing my fingers for that. As for what class she can be, some say Shielder because of her weapon, but the Shielder class is just too special in FGO, so I doubt they will give her that class. At number 3, we have Gilgamesh Prototype. I'll be honest, I think Gilgamesh Prototype is just way cooler than the Gilgamesh we all know. His design, personality, and he is voiced by one of my favorite male voice actors, Nakamura Yuichi. Unlike the kingly, temperamented Gilgamesh from Fate Stay Night, Prototype Gil is the type that enjoys fighting and wants to become the strongest heroic spirit. Many are speculating him to come to FGO pretty soon. At number 2, we have Aozaki Alko. Alko is one of my favorite characters in the entire Type Moon universe. If you don't know her, then you probably should. She is arguably the most important character in the entire Nasuverse. She first appeared in Tsukihime and other games as a minor role and becomes the main focus in the Mahou no Yoru visual novel game. Basically, it's the visual novel where you get to know her past and why she became a Magus and everything like that. So Alko is considered to be one of the strongest Maguses in the Nasuverse, and she is known to be one of the few living beings that can fight directly against servants. Now, I know I said she is considered to be one of the strongest Maguses, but she actually lacks in magecraft, but she makes up for it with smarts and physical strength. Arquaid, who is considered to be one of the strongest characters in the entire Nasuverse, is stronger than her by a long shot, but she still avoids Alko because she knows that Alko had the chance to kill her. So that's how strong and how threatening Alko is to a lot of villainous characters in the Type Moon universe or in the Nasuverse. Because of how important she is in the Nasuverse, I think she can play a huge role in a future main story in FGO. At number 1, we're going to have Aozaki Toko, the sister of Alko. Like her sister, Toko has been thrown into many different Type Moon titles, but she is most known for her being in Kara no Kyokai, also known as Garden of Sinners. She is actually my all-time favorite Type Moon character, not only because of her design and personality, but because of the 5th Kara no Kyokai movie, Mujin Rasen. That movie is still considered to be one of my favorite movies of all times when it comes to anime and obviously the Type Moon storyline. I also believe she can play a huge role in a future FGO main storyline like her sister Alko, but that's if they don't add her in as a collab character. Well, that was my top 10 most wanted playable servants in FGO from the Type Moon universe. I of course have a bunch more characters I want to see, which I will probably make another video talking about a couple more characters. So if you guys want to see that, comment down below and tell me. And yeah, that's basically about it. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed. Do you guys want to see any of the characters in my list? Tell me down below, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Laters.